There we are.
How are you?
Amazing, amazing.
We're good. Hey, how are you?
Absolutely fantastic. Before we even get started, I'm praying for your country. I'm so sorry that that happened to your nation.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
We were just talking about it like a minute ago, that it's difficult not to go on socials and not to see all the news
Yeah.
from Moscow. And at the same time, it's very disturbing,
Yeah.
Are we gonna see you? Do we need a video at all?
Well, here's the thing. I'm a radio guy, and I believe in theater of the mind. And so that was one of the things when I was a kid, Casey Kasem was like the greatest thing in Top 40. And when I saw him on TV, that was it. I no longer had a passion because it was like, oh, that's the guy. And so that it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm such a radio person.
I feel you, man, so much. I have one artist actually in my childhood too. So I got so disappointed when I saw the video clip. So it's not the same anymore.
Okay. No, just kidding.
I mean,
No way.
It's like the group Kiss. When they took the makeup off, I was like, no, put it back on. I liked the mystery of it all.
Sure. Yeah.
I've got to give you guys a huge compliment. This album is unbelievable. If it does not go global, I don't understand why, because it is just unbelievable. The emotion, the lyrics, the videos, everything about it.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But
really appreciate it.
But it didn't come instantly. I mean, you guys busted your tail to get where you are.
We did for a while, and then we burned out. We'll be honest with you, and this album is the result, because these last few years have not been easy for anyone.
Yeah, and all the struggle has been captured on the record, I guess, because it's maybe not the most positive and the brightest record in the industry of music.
It gets that.
It gets there. Yes. By the 10th track, it gets there. But yeah, we start with some sad themes. Probably we're gonna talk about our songs here. So it's like the record starts with the song called "Broken Toys."
Yes,
and it immediately sets the mood, I guess, for the record.
The song "Noble Knight," it's got to be getting airplay around the world because I mean, this song right here, I think, is going to hit it on a top 40 station.
We'd love to.
Yeah, we've been praying for a long time, since the moment we set our foot. What's going on with me today? Like, I'm literally having trouble speaking. So probably from the moment we set foot on the American land back in 2016, when we took a one-way ticket and, just came for a dream, basically. We've been wanting to share more of our music with the world, doing anything and more. I'm glad you like it. It's actually kind of funny how, after we signed an agreement with Pavement Entertainment, who released this record for us, we took a break because, that's what people need after hustling and bustling for years, nonstop, working multiple jobs with no days off. And it's very, weird to look back at what we've done. And I mean, both musically and in life, with like a fresh eye and realize that we're not in that place in our lives anymore where we desperately need the recognition. At this point, it's just like, I want to get my music out there. If people like it, that's amazing. I'm happy. But, it's in the past. Now I'm moving on. I'm doing something else. And achieving success is not the goal of my life anymore.
Mm-hmm. Also, what happened last year was we were not even sure that we wanted to go on with the music because, as Nika said, we got so burned out. And we went to Colombia, the country, and we lived there for 3.5 months, I think. And we were not even playing any music, any shows whatsoever.
No,
we were not writing any songs.
Wow.
Yeah, just lived there in the mountains, not,
Yeah, and
anything.
we were waiting, not really waiting, but we were expecting this inspiration to come back or not. Yeah. And we would be fine, like either way, So, but it came back, fortunately for us.
The album cover, I love that it's a giant sword right there smashing into the planet because I feel like it's like King Arthur. Whoever pulls it out has the power, and you guys are about ready to prove to the world that you're the ones that are going to get that sword.
Well, we hope so. Really.
Can we speak about the continuation of the record, the second part, because we've got the art for the second part of the record too.
Yeah, so basically, as I think most people in the world feel, we are in a very special era of the humanity right now, where we have to live through the pages of a history book, right?
Every day,
every month. And at the same time, I feel like the people, everybody pretty much learned to live with the stress, or at least we're trying to, right? And it feels like the world is collapsing, things are going really bad, and then we're just like shopping. There's that meme, like I look how like the world is collapsing around me, and while I'm shopping on Amazon for like funny dog hats or something. And that's where like the inspiration for the cover came from. And then
it was yours, because I had the title for the record, Illumination, like to break down the word by like single words.
Yeah, like the full word is illumination,
but it's like illumination.
Yeah.
But Nika got the idea for the art for the cover.
And then and well, we don't know, if there's a King Arthur who's going to pull it out. I think, in my opinion, and that thought was kind of reflected in the second part that's hopefully coming out sometime. Well, I'm not going to say soon, but
sometime, yeah.
As you can see, this is part one. That's called Inception. And well, that means that we have a second part coming out sometime in the future, hopefully, and we have already started working on it. And well, are we going to reveal the?
We can drop some little details.
Yeah. So the idea is that we all have to go through some kind of transformation to get through this, to get through the hard times, right? So it's up to us how we go through this transformation.
Yeah, because the hard times make you transform inside.
Yeah. And I will just drop this hint, and this is something that I've learned, through this experience that we have just shared about, last year. After all this fighting and like pushing through, and hustling, the lesson that I've learned is that if you're too rigid, if you stand too hard and you don't, you're not flexible, you break. So the idea is we can't meet aggression with aggression, right? There should be something else. And the question is, how we as human beings, as different nations, and as humanity as a whole can go through this
dark period.
Through this challenge.
Definitely dark.
Through this quest.
You know what? I can feel that right there in the song Broken Toys, because in my notes I put, your voice is so pure. I go into a moment of mindfulness while I'm listening.
Oh, thank you. We tried to make it that way, especially being a rock band. I have always challenged myself with, being a rock singer.
Yeah.
And especially with so much demand for like heavier female fronted bands, like I don't growl, I don't scream. Well, very rarely.
It's become a trend, and our fans would often ask us if, like, hey guys, can you do extreme vocals on the record or something like that? Is there any songs you're planning on that you're gonna use the extreme vocal technique and stuff? And Nika gets a little frustrated when she gets those questions, I guess.
Well, for me, I would say this: like, I'm a singer, and
the old school singer.
For me, the challenge is more to try different techniques.
Right.
Yes.
And especially when we were, in creating this song, it was back in 2020. And I thought, like, this actually makes so much sense when the deepest thoughts, like in Godfather, when he's saying like those really threatening lines, he never raises his voice.
Right.
So that's what I thought about. And especially, coming from that position of like being out of breath. We both had COVID, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And that whole, just like that whole atmosphere created this like
tone of exhaustion, I guess, right?
Like, I'm so out of breath, and I don't have the power to be that Nika Comet who I used to be before. Right. And that's the whole point. Like, that's so different from like all the points of view for me personally and for something that a rock band would do. And only by the end of Broken Toys we like grow into like a full sounding rock band. So
oh yeah, because you exercise that in The Road. I mean, that's a good rock song, and you're right. You don't have to do any screaming or anything like that. Let those guitars do some speaking.
Yes, sure. Right. I'm here to be responsible for that, and also for some growlings. You said you liked Noble Knight. This is where we could experiment a little with the extreme techniques. I was growling, and Nika was doing the screaming.
The screams, yeah, 2 lines, and I had to recover after those for like 30 minutes.
Because we don't do that. We don't do that professionally, so we kind of damaged our vocal cords a little. Not damaged, but slightly. They were off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We don't do it often, but we love heavy stuff.
Yeah.
We're just a little different, and we've always been versatile, and people have told us like, yeah, you guys don't have a concept. We're like, well, actually being versatile is kind of our concept, which is hard to swallow for some people. Well, I guess
that's what we are.
Yeah, after all these years, I'm just fine with that. I'm like, I'm so done trying to impress anyone. I even grew out my natural hair color. I don't know if you can see the video, but yeah, and like I've been trying so hard to be the bombshell I've always wanted to be. Now I'm like, just whatever. I'm a goofball. I can be pretty if I want to, and if I don't want to, like, I know I look like a mouse.
Self-acceptance. Yeah, self-acceptance.
It's like probably I'm just given this look to be who I am with my charisma rather than my looks.
Yep.
And
absolutely. Where can people go to find out more about Chase the Comet?
Well, obviously, all our socials, we're very active on socials.
We also wanted to emphasize that we just have created a new Instagram account.
Well, people look for Chase the Comet, they're going to find
that, absolutely. Right? But this is where all the good stuff is going to happen. I mean, all the reels, all the new videos. But YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, pretty much our main platform. Facebook, our main platforms.
And of course, all smart SMM guys always say, like, you have to invite people to your website because that's where you can track. Yeah. So, I mean, you people are welcome anywhere.
But it's hard to be active on your website. Mm-hmm. What would you be talking about on your website? It's daily news? Yeah.
Well, we have an unobtrusive newsletter that I send out every once in a while to those people who are interested. I always like
they're called family.
Family, yeah, that's our
up with this little nice title for our fans.
Yeah, following.
You guys have got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. You be brilliant today, okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
You bet. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Take care. Cheers.